We are taking the persecution of Christians very seriously. I have to say, I did not have Nicki Minaj on my dance card, but to have her with her global following at the UN to put a spotlight on this issue was a real honor, and I think it's one of the things the UN can do well in terms of having that global platform and having the entire world right there in New York. And we've seen the Nigerian government move as a response to the president's attention, our attention, her attention, and others on the issue. They're cooperating with us more than they were on counterterrorism. They're cooperating in terms of their security force capacity. They still have some work to do, frankly, in terms of the Sharia law that is in place in many of these local provinces. And make no mistake, churches are being burned, pastors are being executed, people are being arrested literally for just wearing a cross around their neck. And the Christian religion is the most persecuted religion in the world right now. And this administration, and I as its representative at the UN, are taking it incredibly seriously in every action that we can.
All right. Now, release Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu will not give you favor, will not give you victory or not make you to lose. You are just giving him Nnamdi Kanu, you are giving more popularity as you keep him in that place. And let's be sincere, it's injustice. If you cannot sentence Boko Haram or let them face his firing squad, why are you keeping Nnamdi Kanu? Why? That is the question. You are just bringing injustice to the government. That the government is partial government. It's partiality. We are trying to create ethnicity complications. Listen. If you can say you integrate killers who need to be killed instantly back to the society, tell me what has Nnamdi Kanu done? What is the difference between Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igbo? Abi? They are freedom fighters. There's no difference. So these are the things we need to look very carefully.
Don't edit it to a social media man. Put it as I said it. Don't turn my words, so don't edit what I said. Put it as I said. We want peace, allow Christians alone. As we allow Muslims, also allow what? Christians. Are you aware that they say you should not preach in buses? Are you aware? That's a stupid law. Say it's a stupid law. I will not be alive see Christ being humiliated. Nigeria has gotten so stupid. The so-called men were in assembly. I don't know where they kept their brains. Nigeria will not preach in buses. Are you aware? But you put loudspeaker outside. Nobody's talking. And Christians are keeping quiet. Hey, every Christian rise up. They attempt not to preach in buses. Tomorrow they attempt not to share hands. I will never be alive to see Christianity be humiliated in Nigeria. Never. If they do it, quote me, some of us will leave. Because Nigeria, if you want peace, since we allowed the Muslims to put microphone, nobody shouted, Christians will preach. If you say Christians don't preach, then they go their way, we go our way. But I won't be alive as a preacher not to see this gospel being preached. I don't care the men in the affairs of preachers who are there. Most of them can't talk because they've taken money from the leaders. Go and ask your president if I've taken one dime from him so I can talk. You can't take money from a man and talk to him. Ask him if I've taken one naira from him. So listen, if they don't wake up and stop all those rubbish laws. South Africa is killing Nigerians. Nobody's talking. Nigeria is one of the poorest nations on earth. Nobody's talking. They are even saying we are not suffering when people are eating. This is the hardest time in Nigeria. Don't edit my word. The most difficult time is this time. People are hashing, all of them are keeping quiet. Jonathan was here, they were shouting. It has come, everyone is quiet. Even preachers are quiet. All the preachers are quiet because we know the thing. I will talk. They talk during Jonathan. True? Can you compare Jonathan time and now? They are keeping quiet. I will never be a tribalistic preacher. Never. Most preachers can't talk because of sentiments. Listen, they should not promote such laws if they don't want chaos in Nigeria. Otherwise, some of us will rise up and take it by force. I will never be alive to see anybody. I'm not interested in politics, but not the gospel. You can't insult Jesus and I'll be alive to take it. I don't care preachers who are busy holy meetings. Tell them, stop that law. It's not of God. If Muslims can also raise their microphone, we are free to preach. There's freedom of of religion or whatever you call. There is no point. Nobody is warning the Muslims. If you go to Victoria Street, their microphone, their speaker is there. So why will did we talk? So you should not stop us from preaching. And all these your men you are talking who are there in speakers and nonsense, all that they are Christians, so passing laws. They never pass law. Have you seen any law they pass about Nigerians that kill South Africa? They kill them every day. They've not got up to South Africa. Stop this rubbish you're doing to Nigerians. Is this a problem? Terrorism has problem. Hunger has problem. Nigeria get problem. Are you aware in the 70s, Nigeria gave money to IMF and World Bank? Don't edit it to social media, man. Put it as I said it. Don't turn my words, so don't edit what I said. Put it as I said. We want peace. Allow Christians alone. As we allow Muslims, also allow what? Christians. If you want to make this, I've told you before, they want to turn Nigeria to Islamic nation. Somebody think I'm joking. It's coming small, but it can never be. It can never be. Don't be that person who thinks that. Nigeria will never be an Islamic nation. Otherwise, some of us will leave. Are you telling me from the south side will be Muslims? If you want it, then carry your part which is Muslim and go. We go. But if you want peace as one Nigeria, practice your religion, practice our Christianity. Glory to God. Don't edit my statements. Since men are going to want to talk, me I go talk. And you know why they are not talking? Tribalism. What did I say? I don't have to be painted. It's tribalism. When Jonathan, I think they were rioting. Who they riot now? This regime and Jonathan, which one? Even a madman knows if Jonathan better practice on.
Thank you for joining us. I believe you have listened to different men of God, raising eyebrow about what is actually playing out in Nigeria. But before we take a look at what the Senate actually did and who was actually hiding under Federal Road Safety Corps Act, then they went as far as amending it. And this bill was sponsored by one Bamidele. Yes, that's what I learned. It was sponsored by one Obayemi Bamidele. Then they hide on that, traffic, maybe I can say, I don't know what it means, and that, traffic has become an offense. They hide on that, but they were just looking for something to hold on to be able to continue to push, this agenda that has already been stated many years ago. People should not be surprised when they see this kind of things surfacing online. The government of Nigeria trying to play a smart one. At the end of the day, you can see how it was. Yes, we learned that also CAN and PFN has reacted to that bill, that's already been passed. The bill has already been passed, waiting for Parliament to just sign it into law. And the people who are actually behind this bill, are mostly people who are part and parcel of this Islamic agenda. The Muslim tickets. Muslim ticket. And if you look at what is playing out, all Christian senators or whatever you call all of them there, everybody seem to be, hoodwinked or bewitched to stand up and let the whole world, let them tell us how, preaching the gospel has become a traffic offense. This bill was amended in 2026 and was passed to Bola Ahmed Tinubu for final putting his, signatures to it. But what amazes me is, very clearly, me personally, I am not surprised because let me give you a rundown of what public evangelism have become a crime in Nigeria. Public evangelism has become a crime in Nigeria, and maybe that is the position of the Muslim agenda in Nigeria. And when people are talking about Muslim ticket, you do not know why people are saying this thing did not start today. It started from, I think we started hearing this thing, Abiola, OIC, then down to, then it has become more significant, and today we are seeing massive political conquests, massive, militancy against anybody who want to rise against a certain faith that has been politically weaponized to invade Christian communities to carry out a conquest. Do you know what is happening in Enugu State? In Enugu currently, how many local government communities, more than 17 local government communities have deserted Enugu. But you can see that the media cannot report it. So if you look at, the contributions of Christianity in Nigeria or in the world, the best scientists from Isaac Newton, Rigon Mabel, and George Lementis have contributed a lot. Christians have contributed a lot to the development of the world. You don't know why, people does not understand what happened to, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, also what happened to Simon Ekpa. These are elements who understand the game in disguise, how they disguise themselves under, a democratic rule, this and that. But they forgot that, people has watched closely to discover that this thing is not about democracy. This is about, conquest agenda. But you want to tell me that these people who are talking about it now, they are just on the know? No, in their subconscious mind, they are afraid. They don't have the will to say it out until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu break the jinx. That's why you see everybody is talking now. And thank God, the man of God there said, let the Muslims stay on their own and let the Christians stay on their own. But let me tell you, that is the best solution. Forget everything what they are doing, whether America is negotiating or not, whether America is talking about it or not. The only way to it is total breakup, because government goes and government comes. You don't know the kind of government that will come, this that will issue a decree. Let me give you an instances of nations around the world today has been that we are Christian nations that has been, Islamized. Egypt is one that I think about 17th century was a Christian nation. Turkey, talking about Turkey today, you can see what they are doing. 1453. Syria, Lebanon, Albania, and so many of them like that. They are the ones who are projecting to, join. But you see, there's a global consciousness that if we do not speak up, like what is happening in New York now, you can see what Americans are saying, that conscious. But, what baffles me is that, can't these people actually take decisive action? But I thank God, the ICC prosecutor, that wanted to harm Israeli Prime Minister using the mayor of New York, Madani, to carry out that, has been thrown away by the Americans. They have sacked him, take him out completely from International Criminal Court as the president of International Criminal Court. They thrown him out. So the world is gradually reshaping, and we will need to understand where we are currently now. So most of these things come in disguise. Look at going to that extent to start talking about, traffic has become an offense. They now went into the FRC Act and now inserted, an anti-Christian bill. Nigeria, Fiakwa. They quickly rushed it and passed it. to the president for final assent. Okay, we'll just talk about outside, Africa, but let us look at countries who collapsed also under Islamization. One is Egypt. Two is Syria. Tunisia, Algeria, Libya. These were Christian nations before the conquest came. I'm talking about Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, and Libya. More are coming, and you can see what Abraham Traore is trying to do now. You can see, so there is a gradually expansionist agenda. But the problem is that, and if you look at the history of the world, the Christians have contributed more to the human development than even the so-called, Islamization. In almost all the ramifications of human endeavor, But I want to tell you that Sharia and Islam, maybe they are laws, because you see, the laws are restricting Muslims from becoming slave to whatever they believe in. And that's why I told you that Nigeria, if you look at Nigeria, they say Nigeria is a democratic nation. Nigeria is not a democratic nation. If Nigeria is a democratic nation, somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, this kind of government wouldn't have gone after them. Because they claim they are, they say, a republic. If you look at them, they say, a federal republic of Nigeria. No, it's in disguise. It is supposed to be Federal Democratic Republic of Nigeria, Federal Democratic Government, Federal Democratic Government of Nigeria. But if you are talking about republic, they would have defended Christians, defended the secularity of this nation. But Nigeria has already been registered as an Islamic nation. The way they are championing this bill, that's the way one president who are crazy about Islamization will just come one day and just enact the bill, while everybody will quiet. Those who are courageous enough to speak are only speaking because somebody broke the jinx, and that is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, they are talking about, Biafra, that Christians should stay on their own, and Muslims should also stay on their own. They didn't see what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw, but they are talking about it now. That's what makes Biafrans Republicans.